Hey guys, how y'all been? So we're on the showdown. We're gonna be working through that team builder, through the rain team that I've built already, and here's what we got. So we picked Polytoad because the ability Drizzle actually summons Rain Dance when it gets switched in. So you send out Polytoad, the rain kicks up just from sending it out. So that's a great, basically an essential thing to a rain team is having an easy way to set up the rain. We gave it Choice Scarf because it's kind of a slow Pokemon, so that'll increase its speed 1.5 times, and it'll be locked into a move, which is, depending on what you're up against, is going to be situationally bad or great if they don't have any water resists or what have you. And it's especially good because being locked into one move means that you probably are going to want to switch, and switching out is actually going to let you bring the Drizzle back in when you bring Politoed back in, so that'll be good. We have 4 offensive moves because being locked into a move that doesn't do damage with Choice Scarf is generally not a great idea. Just if you're using Thunder Wave or something every turn, if you get locked in and you can't switch out, you just can't win because you won't be able to do any damage. So we have max damage here and pretty fast, but not as fast. We have the nature investment in the special attack, and that'll help us do big damage. Hydro Pump, Water Stab, and with the rain, it'll do a lot. So our main damage dealer here, urshifu. Urshifu is a water fighting type, so as such we've picked water moves. This is its signature move, and it always crits, so it's actually substantially higher damage. So between stab, brain, the critical hit, and the life orb boost, this number actually is 100 damage a hit, so times 3. So that's very, very strong. We're also bringing Aquajet because having priority on a Pokemon that, while pretty fast, doesn't outspeed everything, being able to just hit them first and potentially pick up a low health knockout is great. And another huge benefit to Urshifu is this ability, Unseen Fist. So all contact moves hit through protection mean that if they use Protect or something that would negate any moves from hitting them, it actually does not negate contact moves. So if they're trying to protect their low health Pokemon, you could priority and then Aquajet and just take them out before anything else happens, that kind of deal. We also are rocking Close Combat just because it's fighting, so stab, and it's very high power, can't miss. Between that and Life Orb, it's going to be hitting big into Pokemon neutrally, and also super effective is going to be killing Pokemon. So that's our 2 main rain monsters, I guess. We have also Articuno. We're going to go in a different order than what it is here, just for because there's 2 different modes to the team. So Articuno is Flying type, Flying Psychic. That's immune to ground. It's very good because there's actually a very common Pokemon Landers here. Landers there, can we bring it up? Ground type usually rocks Earthquake, that hits all Pokemon, and it's just off this high 145 base attack stat. It's going to be dealing a lot of damage, so having those immunities to ground type is going to be very beneficial. So Psychic Flying, it also has competitive, and competitive is when its stats are lowered, its special attack goes up by 2 stages. So Landorus again actually has Intimidate, and that's going to lower the physical attack stat by 1 stage. So that'll increase, and we don't need that on Articuno, so that'll just make it do essentially double damage, which is great. We also brought the Wakan Berry, so this is halves damage from super effective electric attacks. Polytoad and Urshifu are both weak, and Articuno is weak, so having 3 electric weaks in a format with Regieleki and Tapu Koko and just strong, fast electric types is not great, so we're trying to mitigate that, maybe surprise them, and go for a Tailwind. So onto the moves now. Hurricane, 30% chance to confuse, 110 power plus stab, and actually can't miss in rain. There's no accuracy check, it just does damage in rain. There's no nothing. If they lower your accuracy, it still hits in rain. So very good. Freezing Glare, stab move, psychic, strong as it gets with 100% accuracy, and 10% chance to freeze. It's essentially psychic ice beam. So stab move, it's great. Tailwind, 4 turns allied speed double, so your whole team is going to have double speed, hopefully outspeeding all Pokemon on the enemy side. They could be running a similar strategy, and they probably should be, honestly. Everyone should be trying to have speed control, go first, or change up the speed, what have you. And so that's the option there, bring these guys up to speed, and Protect just so you can mitigate that damage sometimes. Urshifu is the only Pokemon that can ignore Protect, so being able to just stop all damage coming in from you is very beneficial for you. Next up, Rotom Wash. So Rotom is actually an electric water type, and because of this ability Levitate, it's immune to ground type, so its only actual weakness is grass type moves. We put on Hydro Pump and Thunderbolt because they're stab moves, and Thunderbolt's 100% accurate. Hydro Pump, we just went for the biggest number. Between stab and the rain, it'll do a lot of damage at 50%, doing a lot there. Will-O-Wisp, 85% chance to hit, and when it does, it burns. Burning will reduce physical attacks by half, so being able to hit that on a strong offensive Pokemon like Urshifu or Rhyperior or a Metagross, that'll be great. That'll be very helpful. And Protect, because you can mitigate those attacks. If they double up, try to kill the Rotom, they're worried it'll burn the whole team. You can maybe Protect and go for an offensive move, and suddenly you have the pressure. Citrus Berry. So Citrus Berry restores a quarter HP when you're at half HP or less. Activates pretty early. Pretty much most hits, if they're targeting Rotom, are going to do half HP. And then we have this EV spread here. The EV spread is from Pikalytics, and I don't know what it does, but it makes you tanky and it makes you faster than something. I'm not sure. It does this. This is what it does right here. Look right here. Wow, what a great AV spread. Okay, that's what it does. And then we have our slow mode here with Rhyperior. So Rhyperior has weakness policy, and being hit by a super effective move makes its attack and special attack doubled, which doesn't really matter here, but for attack, 211 goes up to 422. Things are going to be dropping. They're going to get touched by a high horsepower Stone Edge Ice Punch, they're going to be going down. And if you Dynamax with it, it gets twice as much health, so being hit by that super effective attack won't be as big of a deal. So that's what we're running there. We're also running Bronzong. So Bronzong has the way to set up actually the weakness policy is Bulldoze. So that'll slow the Pokemon by one stage, hits all Pokemon, and ground type damage. Not very strong, not very invested, but still a reasonable amount of damage if you're not evolved. But because of this high defense stat and probably Dynamaxing, it'll do very little and just open up this weakness policy for us to be one-shotting things. Another good synergistic choice there is Rhyperior and Bronzong are both very slow, 40 speed, 33 speed. Bronzong actually have opted to go as slow as possible, and I might do the same for Rhyperior, we'll see. But being able to use Trick Room, essentially you have Rhyperior and Bronzong out, you Trick Room on Bronzong, and then Bronzong is going to go first because in Trick Room team order is reversed, and then you Bulldoze Rhyperior. It gets a little bit slower, which means it'll go first if there's a close tie on speeds there, and then it'll one-shot something with that Dynamax. So that's an option. We also brought the Agua Berry. This is kind of in tandem with the EV spread. We built this to live Dragapult, Life Orb, Shadow Force, or Phantom Force. There's one that does 90 power. Anyway, it'll always live with at least 1 HP, and then the berry will activate because it'll live at 1 HP to definitely lower than a quarter, and then you'll get the higher amount of HP because Citrus Berry, again, only a quarter HP, so just a bit more. Pretty good set here. And then Skill Swap, we picked Skill Swap because Levitate's pretty good. We could send it to Rhyperior, and that could give it immunity to ground moves, or we could Skill Swap actually the Drizzle, because when you switch the Drizzle over, that's going to activate again. Essentially, it's like switching it in, and then Bronzong will have Drizzle, and that'll set up the rain. Maybe if there's a weather war going back and forth, you have to keep changing the weather. That'll help you there. Gyro Ball is stab move, steel move, and it's based on how slow you are. We're very slow, so it should be doing a decent chunk of damage, even though we're uninvested. It'll be hitting fairies pretty hard. So that's it for Bronzong. The ability again, Levitate, same as Rotom, immune to ground type moves. Helps mitigate that ground weakness in the steel and the electric. So we only really have 1 ground weak, and then we have 3 immunes. That's pretty good. That should deter landers from clicking Earthquake on this team because of that. The EV spreads for Politoed, Urshifu, Articuno, and Rhyperior are all just the highest number into damage, and then depending on whether they need to be fast or if they're already fast because of an item, the nature will be in special attack the nature will be in the offensive stat or in speed, just depending on what I think they need more in that situation. So that's the team. Give it a try. Hopefully it works out for you. I'll catch you next time.